Hey y'all. Hey. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Y'all, we halfway through it. We are halfway through it. So, listen. I was in here in the bathroom and God moved on my heart to do a video. Um so first of all, let me, give all honor and glory to God. Because without him, I wouldn't be able to do the things um, that I do. Can y'all hear me? Honey, are you listening to me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, no, I was just because I didn't want the water and stuff to be aggravating to the people because I'm right up here. So listen, first of all, I give God all the honor and the glory for allowing me to be able to do this. I give honor to my husband, Bishop Stanford, and our covering, Chief Apostle Carla McDougall, and everyone that I am connected to, everyone that supports me, everyone that comes on and listen, everyone that God allows me to motivate, encourage, and whatnot. So I honor y'all all. So here we go. So if you didn't know, September is Alopecia Awareness Month. And just for the ones that don't know, I have alopecia, and there's different types of alopecia. You have um, totalis, you have what is it? Universal. You have alopecia areata. There's different types where you have some people that have alopecia and they have no hair anywhere. Um, Pubic hair under their arms, eyebrows, eyelashes, none of that stuff. Um, they have no hair anywhere whatsoever. Then you have some that have balding in the crown. You have some that have balding right here. Well, when I started, I was about 7 or 8 years old, living in North Carolina. And let me turn this water down. Living in North Carolina, and I used to go outside and play with our dogs and stuff. You can? Okay. And so um I had long hair. I had long hair. My aunts would do my hair, on Sundays. Sometimes do it during the week where, would last and whatnot. So as time went on, my grandmother started noticing that my hair was coming out. And back in the day, anybody that know, we had that bergamot. We had Dax. What was the other one? What was the other one? Blue Magic. We had all that stuff. Sulfur 8, all of that. So she would use that. I could still do. Yeah, all that stuff. Put a little, stuff in a concoction and whatever. And you know, try to help my hair grow back. So she finally took me to Chapel Hill. Took me to Chapel Hill, and they discovered that I had um, ringworms in my blood system. So and I felt almost like a scientific project because I guess back in those days they didn't really um hadn't really seen anything like that and wasn't too familiar with it because I remember going to Chapel Hill and I was in this room and the doctor came in and had about like 6 doctors standing around me. So I guess maybe there was residents doing their residency, specialists, whatever the case may be. And So that's when they did the blood work. They pulled some of my hair, and it came back that I had ringworms in my blood system, in my bloodstream. So they gave me medicine, told my grandmother, to bring me back. And after a while, it had came, the medicine worked. I no longer had the ringworms. And anybody know, you get a ringworm, you get that little circle, and wherever that ringworm is, it gets a little bald and no hair there, whatever. So this was about maybe third, no, about third grade, because that's when it really started kicking in, was third grade. And if anybody know or lived in Kinston, North Carolina, at that time I was going to Banks Elementary. And when it really got bad, I remember my third grade teacher, her name was Mrs. Westbrook. I really liked that lady. I did. I enjoyed her. I can remember most of my teachers. But had to deal with, being laughed at and being called bald head and bald eagle and Mr. Clean, and it got worse. Um as I went out through school, and y'all, I'm really trying to take my time because I hate it when I nick myself. Lord Jesus, hate it. So yeah, I'm going a little slow. But anywho, so as time went on, I just, it hurt, but I dealt with it. What could I do? So then by the time I went to junior high, which was E.B. Frank Middle School, um, going there first day of school and stuff like that. Um, and people that knew me at Banks or whatever. When you go to junior high school, you think you're a little grown then. And a lot of the people that I knew at Banks really, um, really didn't want anything to do with me, and um, didn't want people to know they knew me. So that was kind of hurtful in the beginning. And when I rode the bus every morning, I got on the bus. I already didn't live in the best looking house, and always got teased and different things. And then on top of that, and I ain't got no hair. Child, it was a hot mess. It was a mess. But made it through it. So anywho, after the ringworms got out of my system, my hair still wasn't growing back. And it wasn't until later that I realized it was due to stress, because my grandmother was very, very abusive, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. And I was dealing, with a lot, my aunts and everybody went through the same thing. And, I didn't understand why my mother, would leave me with this lady that they know they caught hell from. So I was dealing with a lot of, um, emotional things. And why did all the other girls at the school have hair and I didn't? And, and I used to hate it on picture day. And I remember some of my close friends. Was it Tasha Tan, Shanique Colley, Marquita Yelverton, Valerie, Veronica Harris, all of them? The camera guy would make jokes with them and, give them combs and stuff to comb their hair and stuff. And when it got to me, it was like he just didn't know what to say and would call them beautiful and all that. And, I never got that reaction. And it used to hurt. And so by the time I went to high school, which was North Winmore High School, um, I started and decided to wear wigs. Well, how many of you know you can't win for losing? Because I got laughed at, I got clowned. Um, None of the guys really wanted to date me. I'm not gonna say they didn't like me, but you know back then, ain't nobody trying to date the bald headed girl because they ain't want their friends and stuff, talking about them or whatever. So, dealt with that or whatever. And y'all, let me explain something to you. This is not a sad, woe is me. And, I just want to help somebody because when I posted the picture, when I changed my profile picture and all of that, I woke up that next morning with some inboxes and, with different women wanting to know, how do you embrace, um, how do you embrace being, bald? Um, how did you get there? Different things like that. And I had to let them know that this is not an overnight thing because, we're always taught, this is your crown and glory. And, with your hair and everything. And you know what happens? A woman's supposed to have hair and all these different silly things. You know what I'm saying? And not saying silly because, in the Bible, but it was also talking about, basically a woman's crown and glory, her hair. And you're supposed to keep that covered or whatnot. But if you read more and study more into it, you'll understand why that was made. So I'm not gonna go into that. So anywho, started wearing wigs. And y'all, I'm sorry, I hate stubble. I hate stubble. But so anywho, after graduation, I did have a boyfriend. His name was James Holmes. And you know, we dated for a little while, whatever. Then you know, had other boyfriends or whatever. And I can honestly say that the one, at that time really accepted me or whatever. So anywho, as got a little older, went to the military and before that, when I met my first husband, I was embarrassed about telling him, um, about my condition because he had never seen me without my hair. So I had wrote him a letter. We had just got through doing it. And I thought, that he wasn't going to want to deal with me anymore because I wore a wig. And I gave him the letter. And he said he really thought that I was writing him to break up with him. And I told him no, I wanted to go ahead and tell him about it because I didn't want it to be a surprise, whatever. And he looked at me and he was like, well, I already figured that, you know, the way you would change your hair up and stuff like that. But that's not why that's not why I'm with you. I really like you, I love you or whatever. So that was that. Then I went to the military. And so someone must have told, the drill sergeants or whatever, the instructors that I had on a headpiece. And so they called me in the office and they told me that I could not wear a hairpiece in the military. And so that was my first time ever taking my hair off around people that I did not know. And even though it was scary, it was embarrassing, it was liberating. Because when I tell you at the honey, the reception center, because you go to the reception center, because when you go into the military, there may be a group that hasn't finished yet. So you have to wait until that group finish for you to be able to go to, basic or whatever. You just can't go in and start training. You got to wait for, whatever that group is. And I think they was maybe like um a week out. Yeah, there was like a week out. So we had to stay there for a week. And so when they called me, into the little office thing or whatever, and I took my hair off, they just got kind of quiet. And I walked back to the barracks thing where we was at. And so they were upset. The girls that I was there with, they were upset. And to the point that a lot of them was in tears. And I'm looking at them like, hey, why y'all crying? I'm the one sitting here. I'm the one sitting there looking crazy. But it was the fact that they cared about me and didn't even know me. It's a message in that. It's a message in that now. These females had never met me. Never met me. But they cared about my feelings and how I was feeling and, what I was thinking and stuff like that. And I told them, don't cry. They was upset and they had went and talked to the drill sergeant and stuff. And I was like, y'all ain't got to do that. I'm all right. And I was like, no, that's messed up. They shouldn't have made you, do that. And so they was over there fighting my case. And I'm like, wow. It's amazing how people that you don't know, never met, sometimes will fight harder for you than people you know. Anyway, like I said, there's a message. Anywho, so went to basic, didn't have my hair on, nothing like that. And like I said, it was liberating. And that's why when anybody asked me what was my best time in the military, I would tell them basic training. Because for several reasons. Honey, I know you're listening, come here for a minute. Um, because I found out some things about myself that I never realized. Because I went to school and everything. And I ain't know nothing really. I mean, I took the test and stuff. I never really understood stuff about SATs and ACTs. And, no one ever really sat down and discussed that with me, because I had moved to Louisiana by this time. And I also went to South North High School. And I was running for vice president of the school and different things like that. Oh, yeah, just in case y'all didn't know, now, I ain't no dummy. Don't get this thing twisted now. I'm a long way from being crazy. It's just, living with a grandmother that didn't want you to go no further than the tobacco field. You just get in your mindset, you know, that you're either gonna work in a plant, you're gonna work in a factory or whatnot. But I had to get out of North Carolina. I had to get out of Clemson. Um, it was killing me, literally. It was killing me. Baby, I got everything. You got clothes? Yeah. Well, I hope so. If I didn't, it would be too late now. I got everything. Just another. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. Good, right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Get right to it. What about right here? Right. So anywho, yeah, right. I went to the military and really enjoyed myself. People, thank you, baby. I need hey man. Um I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, did basic and AIT there, and my first duty station was Fort Huachuca, Arizona. And I drove all the way there because you get to go home. Honey, you're not going downstairs, you're going. Okay. Went home for a couple of days and then I drove there. So Y'all, I keep doing this. I know some of y'all saying she ain't done yet. It ain't like she had that much up there. Y'all, listen, I'm a stickler for what you call it? Stubbles. I can't stand no stubble. And y'all, it is crazy. My hair won't really grow, but I get a stubble in a heartbeat. Now, y'all see today, Wednesday. Y'all see I'm shaving my head. I promise you by Friday, I'm going to have to go over my head again just to keep it, smooth. Yeah, to keep it smooth and stuff like that. So anyway, I think that's about it. It's a little stubble right there, but that's gonna be it. I'm good. Okay. So anywho, went to the military and went to Fort Huachuca. Baby, can you get me a rag? Thank you. Went to Fort Huachuca and didn't have no hair on because crazy thing was I was enjoying myself so much in basic training that my hair started growing. And I was able, y'all remember you get the French roll, had the French roll in the back and the finger waves at the front. Thank you, baby. That's how I was able to get my hair done. And so it was like that for a while until I went to Germany. And had little finger waves and all of that. And I was myself and wasn't judged. And when I was in the barracks, everybody used to call me grandma because I was actually the oldest person in the barracks. Everybody else was like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think at that time, 94. What? Yeah, 94. I was 20, 22. Yeah, I was 95. I was 22, 23. And so most of them in there was younger, just came out of high school, stuff like that or whatever. So I'm not gonna give y'all the whole, rundown or whatever. But when I got to Germany, this lady, her name was Zappel, black lady. She put a perm in my hair because anybody been to Germany knows that it's not easy finding good hair care in Germany because they don't have a lot of the products and stuff that we have, and you got to send back to the States. So if somebody coming to the States on leave, you just get them to get you some stuff or whatever. So I dealt with a lot with this alopecia thing, and you would think that I had come into my own and I was okay. Um, that I was okay with, the being bald and stuff, but at that time I still was not secure in myself. And I'm saying all of this because of the inboxes that I got. I am 52 years old. My hair came out 44 years ago. And it wasn't until maybe 10, not even 10. I had a sleep study to do. And anybody got a sleep study, they put all that stuff on your head. And the person I was dealing with at that time, crazy behind, gonna take a picture and post a picture of me. Tell me, oh, look at my boo. Nigga, I ain't tell you to put. Oh Lord Jesus, y'all. I was too done. I'm like, I can't believe this boy did that. But then after that, I started doing, little videos. Excuse me, y'all. I started doing little videos, without my hair and stuff. And little by little, I would do it, but I still wasn't comfortable with it. I still hadn't embraced. I hadn't embraced being being bald or whatever. And so I was still kind of self-conscious because I was still in a place of trying out new wigs. Like there was a time that you would have never caught me in a long wig. And again, that same person, you know, got me, feeling myself. And I started wearing long wigs. And even to the point, I would never wear anything other than black. And y'all, I will tell y'all right now, as Jesus is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and He is the Savior of the world, I hate a black wig. I cannot stand a black wig. I didn't even like the black wig when I was wearing it. Why? Because believe it or not, even though we're born with it, black hair makes you look older. It just makes, especially, lighter skin, brown skin. And that's just me. You may not think that, but to me, black hair makes you look older. Especially sometimes the lighter you are. So, but back then, y'all know they didn't really have a whole good selection of wigs. Y'all know them wigs they had where your name looked like Bernice, look like your name should be Bernice. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Curly to the top and long in the back, bumped under the back. Come on, y'all don't act brand new now. I know we got the Vivica Foxes and we got all these different types of wigs and stuff now, but back then we didn't have a bunch of choices. Y'all seen the lunch lady? Y'all seen what's her name? Tremaine Hawkins now and the caravans and how they Albertina walking, how they used to have their hair curly to the top and then it hung in the back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you who used to wear their hair like that. Karen Clark Sheard. Y'all go look at some of her videos. And Vicki Winans. They had it curly to the top. And no, Shirley Caesar ain't never had her hair like that, I don't think. Yeah, she always had like the Afro Jerry curl or whatever. But Karen Clark Sheard, who else? Yeah, Tremaine Hawkins. It was a few of them singers. Vicki Winans had the curly to the top, and then it hung and bumped under the back. Y'all, that was the only wigs they really had. Y'all, I was around there 17. I wish I could find them pictures. I was 17 years old, looking like I was a housewife, smoked cigarettes, and I was around there in school trying to get my GED. I ain't lying. I ain't lying to y'all. I'm serious. Y'all look at some, if I could find some of them pictures, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, it's this has been a journey. But anywho, I really didn't start embracing my hair probably 2015, 2016. Because a lot for me changed once I lost Khalil, because no matter what I looked like, no matter what I had on, whether I had on a hair rag, head scarf, whatever, Khalil always accepted me for who I was. And that in itself made me feel good. So yeah, it wasn't until that, and then I still would have some moments where I wouldn't go out, without my hair. And then being bigger, I already didn't have a neck. So I'm sitting here looking like child. It was me. I was looking like Telly Savalas, Kojak, who loves you, baby. But anyway, it took a while for me to embrace this. And so the lady that reached out to me, she said, I haven't fully embraced it yet. And does that mean I really don't love myself? And like I told her, I don't think it's so much that you don't love yourself. You just have not reached that point yet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't reached that point of feeling comfortable, with just, being involved. There's a lot of women that I know that that still have their wigs, will not be seen without their hair or whatever, and that's okay for them. Everybody cannot walk this journey. And it doesn't mean that you're less than. It doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It doesn't mean, you know, that you're fake, phony, or whatever. Some people just have not arrived to that place where they're just ready for anybody to see them bald. And that's okay. And really that's some of the reason I wanted to do this video. I want you to know that it's okay. It is okay. You have to walk this journey out in your own time. You can't let nobody do it. You know, we're gonna have people. I'm part of some, you know, ball groups or whatever. And you have to walk this thing out for yourself. Can't nobody push you, because if you allow somebody to push you and you're not ready, you're going to be what's the word? Self-conscious. Self-conscious. You're going to be looking around. You're going to think everybody looking at you, and they're not. They're not. You have to be confident in who you are, and you have to be ready to embrace that, and you know, and to do that. And guess what? If you never, if you never get to that point, guess what? It's okay. It is okay. It doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It doesn't mean that you're ashamed or whatever. It just means you don't want nobody to see you bald. And that's okay. So that is the main purpose of me with this video. But I want to encourage you. There is a freedom in it. Well, why you say that? I'm glad y'all asked. I'm about to tell you. So many women rush trying to get to their beautician and all that other stuff, trying to get their hair done, stressing if their hair ain't done, stressing to go find a wig, stressing, you know, they got an event and oh my God, is there anybody that can do my hair? But when you embrace all of this, baby, you throw on your makeup, your earbobs, and you keep it moving. That is liberation. That is freedom. That is, I can't even explain it. I have a beautician. She does my hair, you know. I got the tattoo on this side. So wait, am I on the right side? Yeah, on that side. So when I want just one side done, I call her and she do it. And it's just liberating. But when it's hot, I prefer to be bald. And yes, I will throw my wig on sometime. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all my closet. Honey, will you go open up that closet door? Don't start that. But I don't want anybody to feel like they have to be a prisoner of hair. You don't have to be a prisoner um in your skin. And that goes for weight loss, which I'm gonna do a video on that too. But I want to start from the head going down. I don't want anyone to feel like they got to be a prisoner of hair or being bald. There is liberation, there is freedom. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I say that. I don't have to go and sit in nobody's chair for no 3, 4, 5 hours. I've known people to get to the hair salon at 7 o'clock in the morning and they ain't walking out to 12, 1 o'clock. Baby, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Why? Because they overbook, they in there talking 9 times out of 10. And look, beauticians, don't y'all come for me. Don't y'all come for me. And I ain't saying all of y'all. I'm just saying some. In there gossiping, in there minding other people's business. You done overbook. You done book 3 people for 7 o'clock. You're trying to wash one, get her done, go put her under the dryer, then the oven, but then you still got this one sitting over here. And one day God just showed me you don't have to deal with that. And I was grateful. And I know it may be comical, but I'm just saying sometimes stuff that you may not look at, you got to look at the whole, you know what I'm saying? You got to look at the whole enchilada to this. Oh, I must have. Oh, I hit the thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Wait a minute. Oh, I hit the phone. You ain't got to go sit in nobody's chair. You ain't got to go to nobody's salon for no 5, 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do none of that. When you are bald, you just get up in the morning. You can throw on you a hair rag, a hair scarf, and keep it moving. You ain't got to worry about, none of that stuff. If your beautician can squeeze you in for the day, you know, none of that stuff. You can go do what you got to do. Get up in the morning, go to the grocery store, get there before everybody else get there, get what you need to get, and come on out. You ain't got to get up. You ain't got to unwrap your head. You ain't got to do none of that stuff. You can just keep going. So I'm saying all this to help somebody that it's not too late for you to embrace you being bald. Now, you have some that's still working on, wanting to get their hair grow back. It's nothing wrong with that either. But what I am saying is, don't make people feel bad about their choices. Don't make people feel bad about their decisions. Don't make people feel bad, if they're in a place and they have not accepted it yet. Y'all got to understand this is life changing. And this thing, it takes time because we've always been told, hair makes a woman and all of this and all the other stuff. But you have got to be willing to unlearn some of that stuff that we've been taught because that's furthest from the truth. Hair don't make you. Your matter of fact, your outfit don't make you. You make the outfit. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all ever seen, and I think I had left this in the voicemail that I was telling her. Y'all ever seen when them stars go to these different functions and then later on they'll say who wore it better? And they can have on the same dress, same outfit or whatever. But it's something about one of those women that rocked that dress because the dress wasn't wearing her. She was wearing a dress. And it's the same thing. It is the same thing with your hair. We all, hold on, y'all, because I don't want this to kick off again. We all have different struggles. We all get to this place at different times. Don't think that you're any less than. Don't think that, there's something wrong with you if you have not reached this point yet. Because this is not an overnight, you wake up, oh, I'm every woman. It's all in me and all that. No, it's not. It took me a minute. It took me a minute to fully say that I have truly embraced not having hair. Like I said, I had this ever since I was about 8 years old. And I just recently, probably within the past 10 years, have fully embraced not having hair. And it takes time. It does. And don't beat yourself up. Extend yourself some grace. Don't beat yourself up if you have alopecia. Don't beat yourself up if you choose to be bald. See, a lot of times people got to understand. Some women choose to be bald. Some don't like hair. Some like the low haircut, whatever the case may be. Whatever your reasoning is, don't beat yourself up about it and don't let nobody make you feel less than, or whatnot. Because you got people with a hair full of hair, nice body, beautiful, nice job, house, or whatever, and they so insecure. You got people all different walks of life, we look at them and be like, dang, I wish that was me, or I wish I had that there. And you don't even realize how insecure, how unhappy, that they probably looking at you. That's why I said, when you got people that have not arrived yet, to take their wig off, to take the weave out or whatever, a lot of women are looking at you saying, dang, I wish I could do that. Ooh, dang, oh, she's amazing. Cause I can't do that. I'm not there yet. I'm telling you what I know because I've seen it. I've heard it. So you are a queen within yourself, even if you're not ready to expose your scalp yet. You're a queen within yourself if you're not ready. And it's okay. It is, it's okay. I don't want you to spend another day thinking something is wrong with you because you're not ready to take the wig off. And even though it's hot or whatever, okay, get you a fan, one of them little hand fans, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. It's okay. You will be when you know when you're ready, when you're ready. And how you know you're gonna be ready? Honey, I can't curse. Give it down. Oh. Give it down. Oh. Okay. I quote, you will know when you're ready when you just don't about what nobody think, about what nobody say, if they staring, if they looking, if they got questions, whatever the case may be. Baby, I done heard it all. My husband and I was what, Piggly Wiggly? Yeah. And a lady, no, Food Line, and a lady, she was like, hey, I said hi. She thought maybe I had cancer. When I was younger, a lot of the kids thought I had leukemia. People gonna think different things, and then some really just don't know. You think they're staring at you, ready to ridicule you, laughing. Some just don't even know what to say because they don't want to come across and say the wrong thing. A lot of times, so many people want to come and embrace you. They want to say you're a cancer survivor or you this, but they don't want to offend you. And a lot of times we thinking people looking, staring, making fun, and that's furthest from the truth. And then when you really think about it, you see more bald women now than you ever did in 1979, 1980, 1981. It is what you received better. Women, yeah, you're accepted. Women, you're more accepted. It's like to walk in a store and see a bald woman. I mean, it's no big thing. But I just want to encourage whoever listens to this. Please allow yourself the grace and the freedom that you can say, you know what? I'm bald. I may not even like it, but eventually I'm going to learn to love it and embrace it because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got a beautiful shaped head. Yes, you do. You make me sick, y'all. I wears this. I wear this, and it don't matter the shape of your head. You got to get in your mind, I look good with this. And there was a time I couldn't say that. I'm serious. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't stand for any of my piercings to be kind of dirty. You got to get in a place where you accept you. It's hard to expect others to accept you when you don't accept you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Your hair don't make you. You make the hair. You make the baldness. Alopecia don't make me. I make alopecia look good. You understand what I'm saying? And so I want to leave y'all with this. Okay. Some of the stuff that I use. Well, first of all, I got me a good razor. I don't need this one. Get you a good razor. I don't need you don't need nothing expensive. I get these double pack in the pink and get me a good razor. Sometimes I steal my husband. But yeah, get you a good razor. And then this is what I also use. Any shaving cream, ultra sensitive, ultra sensitive, ultra sensible, moisturizing and hydrating. I use this, the Pure Silk. Now you don't have to get that, but this, oh wait, how they do it on the thing? This is what I use. Anything for sensitive skin, because I have sensitive skin. I don't know what's going on with my face right now, but it's breaking out. But even, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, you can even use the Dove Mousse body wash. It's good, and it'll tell you it's good for shaving. You can also shave with this. You can shave with this. And after, I done cut my hair, whatever. Oh, I found this at Ross. Tree Hut Moisturizing Shaving Oil. Soothes skin and helps protect against cuts. This is Tree Hut. I found this. Moisturizing shaving oil. And it was $3.49. I found that at Ross. Moisturizing shaving oil. And what you do, you wet your hair. And it's better if you do it before your hair grows back, and you put it up there, you wet your hair, it's an oil, you put it up there and you shave, and it helps you not to get nicked or cut or whatever. And then after I do that, I found this Head and Shoulders. Now I got this from Amazon. Supreme Exfoliating Scalp Scrub. Exfoliates to remove buildup and renew skin surface with vitamin E and argan oil. I got this off Amazon. It's Head and Shoulders Supreme Exfoliating Scalp Scrub. And it has vitamin E and argan oil. And after I done shaved it, that's what y'all saw me putting up there. I'll exfoliate my scalp. And I also, if I don't use the shaving cream, I got this bar of Bright, what is it? Bright something. Okay. Good Molecules. I use a lot of their products. Good Molecule that I get from Ulta. I use a lot of their products. A whole lot. I use the hydrating eye cream from Good Molecules. I use the discoloration correcting serum. And after I take my shower and dry off, I do put some of this on my scalp. Because, sometimes we have that little discoloration. So anyone that suffers from discoloration on their scalp, sometimes might be a little darker brown here, might be splotchy. I use the discoloration correction serum from Good Molecules. And while I'm exfoliating, I will get some of this niacinamide. I think that's it, niacinamide. Good Molecules brightening toner. After I get through washing, I get me a pad and I'll go over my head with it. Again, Good Molecules. And that's really about it. Yeah, that's really about it. I it's not, a big thing or whatever. Just make sure you get something that is good for you. It's good for your scalp. It's not irritating. I don't have no bumps. I don't have no razor bumps. And that's another reason why I exfoliate. And I'll put the niacinamide up there. I don't get no bumps and stuff. And another thing you can use is emu soap. Y'all, I live by this. This emu soap. And I got to order me some emu oil. I ran out of that. I was letting my husband use it. Emu soap and emu oil. My sister got me hooked on that stuff. When I tell y'all that stuff keeps your face so clean, clear, brightens, or whatever. It does. It really does. And what else? And you can also use the emu oil after you get it dried off. Rub some in your hand and rub it in your scalp. Emu oil. Emu oil takes away your wrinkles. It tightens your skin and it clears it up so pretty. And what else? Oh, and after I'm finished with everything, I get me a little collagen and rose water mist right here. Reviving, anti-wrinkle, hydrating. I will get me some collagen rose water mist and I spray it over my face and I spray it over my scalp and it keeps it hydrated. So let's see. 1 o'clock. Okay. That's yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to show y'all some of the stuff that I use. And you know, I hope this helps somebody. I hope this bless somebody. But don't be afraid. This is Alopecia Awareness Month. And this is the time that you can go and research different things. You know, if you are one of the ones that you do want your hair to grow back, there's medication. I used to honey, what was I on? Those pills. Oh Lord. Y'all, I'm gonna put in the comment the pills that the doctor used to have me on. I actually used to get the cortisone injections. I did that for almost 2 years. It's painful, it is, but you know, I just wanted to see if my hair would grow. I wasn't in a phase of, oh, I miss my hair. No, I just wanted to see because I never took that route. I just accepted it and I moved on. So I wanted to see if it would grow. And you know, it did a little, but I've always had the issue with up here to the top. Okay. And my grandmother had it, my mother has it, my sister has it. We have this thing right here. And it's also important to know your family history. Know your family history. If that's something that runs in your family. And also, alopecia usually comes from autoimmune diseases. If you have alopecia, you have an autoimmune something, whether it's lupus, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, chronic pain, whatever it is. Make sure you go and you get a full blood workup to find out, because if at any time you start losing hair, you get diagnosed with alopecia or whatever, there is some type of autoimmune going on in your body. And I say that because autoimmune is when your body is fighting against itself. And that's why we have flare-ups. That's why you have to be on certain medication. That's why certain things happen within your body, because your body is attacking your hair follicles. So if you ever, you know, get diagnosed, you see your hair falling out or whatever, make sure you go to the doctor and maybe you can catch it. Like I said, I was younger. I didn't know. But other than that, I don't want to keep rambling on. I just hope this bless somebody. I hope, I really hope this answered some questions, and I hope it liberated, it freed someone. Trust me, your reputation, the love people have for you and all of that, it is not caught up in your hair. Will everybody be able to embrace it and accept you? Maybe not. And who cares? You know, it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm about to hop in the shower because that's a part y'all can't see. But I love y'all. Embrace where you are for the time being and just pray and prayer. Pray that God continues to evolve you, that you will get to a place that you can accept your baldness, your beautifulness, your crown, and your glory. In the name of Jesus. Listen, this is your girl, Apostle V. You've tuned into Just Being V. I hope this made sense. I love y'all. I hope this blessed somebody. It ain't about me. It's about y'all. It's about motivating, encouraging, saving a life, saving a soul. Never been about me. So, with that being said, I love y'all. I bless God for each and every one of you. And I pray that you take this day and you enjoy it. I'm about to hop in the shower, throw on some clothes, and get out in these streets just for a few minutes. And y'all enjoy this weather. This weather is beautiful. I got my windows up. I turned the air off. Y'all, it feels good outside. But anywho, I love y'all. Until next time. Bye.